there I am, old Jordan. You don't even look old. Yeah, pretty old.
In the future,
I posted mine this morning.
Do not post old pictures of me on Instagram and Facebook. I don't want the world seeing the worst version of me at age 80. If you're gonna do it, make me look good old and then show it to me first, and then I'll approve it. Please, thank you.
I love this app and I love that debate.
Took a picture of us, made me old, and posted it without doing any cool old stuff. Like she could have colored my hair brown.
No, you're supposed to just hit old and post it.
No,
That is the
that's not what I've
old
seen.
challenge.
I have seen multiple people modifying their old pictures and then putting them up as old. But if you're gonna post an old picture without my permission, at least make it look slightly better.
I think I look like a friendly old man. And if I have this much hair when I'm this age, I will be completely happy.
Mine is terrible.
Let me see yours.
Terrible.
I think you look pretty good.
You look fine.
Oh, please. This is literally one of the coolest companies we've met all year, like by far. I don't know if it makes for the best investment, but it's the coolest company we've met all year. They have a drone sitting at the police department or fire department. Every time a 911 call comes in, instantaneously the drone goes to the site of that 911 call. If it's a car accident, it's there within 60 seconds. If it's a fire at a house, it's there. If it's a burglary, it's there. And so the dispatch operator, as they're on the phone with the person that made the call, they're looking at the scene of the crime within 30 to 60 seconds. So today, this is the gold standard of vetting an early stage investment. We, again, are getting to sit in on the pitch meeting of the company we're looking at investing in as they're trying to sell a client, which is the UP city manager of our neighborhood, which is a guy I just happen to be friends with. Robbie.
A meeting that we're not going to be able to film?
Well, no, because it's with the city. He's already being super nice, helping us vet this company. I don't want to come storming on cameras. He might let us take some GoPro footage of the meeting.
We'll tell you how the meeting went right after the meeting. I'm going to come have a picnic at the police department. This is really nice.
Dave, I know your dream was always to be mayor of Highland Park. I think Dave would make an excellent mayor.
I would run on a platform of allowing scooters on the streets again.
That was the best vetting meeting of a startup I've ever had. You agreed?
So much insight, and especially to hear from like who would actually be vetting and who would be proposing to the city.
It's great, right?
Hey, thanks for introducing me.
That was such a balanced meeting. I thought you guys were in for short, and the fire chief started talking up about his view on it.
Right,
I'm like, this is what you guys have to deal with in every city.
To me, I would think that police is a little bit easier to sell, right?
Yeah, it's very different for police and fire. Like for fire, obviously if you have high incident rates where they have, dry areas, that's an immediate sell for us. Whereas police, if they care about their like response time, they care about the officer safety, that's a bigger, that's an easier sell for them. Yeah. But overall, it's just, pushing the conversation of how are these autonomous drones going to shape like everyday life.
You have to win over the city, the fire chief, the police chief, the city manager, but you also have to win over the community.
We have to win over everybody.
You really have to hone in on, as I was thinking about this through the course of our meeting, the hot button issues for me are prevention, right? Like what does this do to crime prevention in my neighborhood when everyone knows that within 30 seconds there's drones taping you when you're messing with my house? There's so many applications. I think if you guys can really just nail down those hot button issues, the school shooting, that might or might not happen. Like
once we're actually working with the city, like the conversation is not about that once in a lifetime event. Yeah. It's what did this drone do this week?
We love this, man. This is so awesome. You killed it in there. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for setting it up.
Thank you. We have something really big to talk about today. Dave is in conflict with me and Jordan on a very important new investment.
You've spent a lot of time sourcing this. You were able to get some buy-in into a company that we ordinarily wouldn't be able to invest in. I was excited about it, but I did some research and it's not really for me.
I was shocked when you told me you weren't investing in this.
Well, I think this is why we don't put together a fund or something like that, right? Because we all have our own opinions.
Yes.
And that's what makes us unique, is that we can each decide whether we're in, what our allocation is.
We have the ability, some of us to make good decisions and others to make bad decisions.
I'll share with you my reasoning for not wanting to be involved in this investment. Stay tuned.
He took my spot.
Take your spot.
We have never gotten a spot here. Not one time in 15 years have we gotten a spot in the lot of Sammy's. It's that good.
I think Chris is a little biased because he used to be a part owner in a Sammy's location. How did that work out for you?
I got most of our money back on that.
Watched a couple episodes. I think it's good.
You like it?
Yeah.
How long Sammy's been doing this?
7 years.
Mind-blowing meeting today.
We are literally watching the pitch from a tech company trying to get a city to buy, and everything's going great, and then the fire chief steps in and he has the objections that we wouldn't think to ask about.
Well, I think what's interesting to me is that you just see the dynamics of different personalities come to play. And like, you're not always selling to a tech-savvy person.
And I was like, that is why we're in this meeting, is to hear that guy give his objections. And now I'm, like, before he started giving his objections, I was like, I gotta invest in this company
Before he gave the
now.
objections, the price point for what it costs the city versus what I thought was the value seemed like a no-brainer.
This has gotta be one of the most difficult sales. He has to sell multiple different departments, council members. He has to hold a community meeting in every community to get the buy-in from the community, for the council members, for the fire chief, to the police chief.
That's why I think you sell to the ISD. You sell to the ISD, you get rid of all this, and you demand that you get support from the police department.
You might have a great point. Let's talk to him about that. So on every single startup opportunity, there's always another side. There's always the hurdles. There's the things that make that company difficult to succeed, and we stared it right in the face today. Now we can make an informed decision about this company that we could have never have made, no matter how many meetings we took with the founder team.
Which, by the way, I thought the founder did a really good job responding to objections, staying calm.
His pitch was awesome.
Being informed and giving informed information back. He was great.
Sammy's is and always will be my first love in barbecue.
This is the barbecue that started it all.
This is the barbecue that started it all. We need to come back here more often. We do. We have so much to talk about. The biggest being cauliflower.
You and your interest in the healthy for you trend.
Dave, you've got to be so excited because when we went and got pizza, you were so in love with the cauliflower pizza.
I was gung-ho about the whole thing. It was amazing.
The company that we're investing in,
That I've officially passed on.
Outer Aisle, makes cauliflower pizza crust, and they make cauliflower sandwich thins. To people like us, maybe we don't think they're as good as what we had the other day at the pizza place, but the hardcore, health-oriented, keto, crowd loves them. It's a valid criticism that they might not have the scalability as a more conventional cauliflower, just in terms of taste profile.
But I think that these guys will have a more hardcore audience.
Totally agree. People that will eat it will be super brand loyal, which will increase the valuation of that brand. All right, so listen, we don't know for sure, and I think there will be multiple brands, as there are multiple brands of frozen pizza. There's like 15 or 20 big brands of frozen pizza.
And we've already seen at restaurants that have it, California Pizza Kitchen, it is a huge seller for them.
That tells me that people are actually demanding and asking for this product.
So yes, the market is growing. The particular company you're investing in, though, makes a small subset. How big can that be? I think that Domino's is going to develop their own the same way CPK has developed their own.
If a Domino's starts doing it, it just creates brand awareness and it's going to explode.
I think there will become a point in time in the next 5 to 7 years, where every individually owned Italian and pizza place in the country, and we're talking hundreds of thousands probably, all are forced to purchase cauliflower pizza crust from one of the providers. I think at the end of the day, these companies all get bought out pretty early anyway in food. Again, I think the biggest selling factor to me when it comes to better for you foods is customer loyalty. And this brand, from what I've been reading in social, has tremendous brand loyalty among their customer set. So I think we have protected downside.
We've released way more trade boards in the past month than we have probably ever.
I'm spending probably 6 hours a day researching trades, which is more than I normally spend, and I am overwhelmed with all the trading opportunities. We spent a considerable amount of time this past week researching a trade. I want to talk about this because most of the time we start researching a trade, we don't trade it. We don't put a trade board up. It ultimately doesn't pan out for us, and this trade was on Dunkin Donuts. It was actually because of Baskin Robbins. Dunkin Donuts owns Baskin Robbins. Dunkin Donuts is publicly traded.
And Baskin Robbins had a promotion with Netflix show Stranger Things Season 3, which is blowing up, has more social buzz than anything we've ever seen. We thought maybe that'll trickle down to the Baskin Robbins and help the parent company, Dunkin Donuts, which is way bigger than Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, the social buzz is pretty strong on this Baskin Robbins tie-in, but most of the social buzz was related to a single point store, their flagship store in Burbank, that they completely switched to be a Scoops Ahoy, which is the name of the brand in Stranger Things. They made the entire ice cream shop look like a Scoops Ahoy shop. Lines around the block, 3-hour waits, right? What's going to move the needle for the company are
Getting more people in the door because they're excited about this.
Correct. And every Baskin Robbins does have some promotional material for Stranger Things. They have special flavors for Stranger Things in the store. So I interviewed one Baskin Robbins. You interviewed one. My wife interviewed one yesterday without me even asking her. Without me even asking her, she interviewed one. And we have 3 different answers. So why don't you talk about your interview and how that went?
I went to the location closest to my home. It reminded me that I rarely, if ever, go to Baskin Robbins because they moved and I didn't even know it. They're now across the street. Cooper told me that he saw probably 10% more traffic in that store because of Stranger Things, trying their flavors, and to me, that could move the needle for Baskin Robbins.
Exactly. And then I went and interviewed another Baskin Robbins on Greenville Avenue, and the store manager or clerk there told me that she has seen virtually no impact from the Stranger Things promotion. And at that point, I decided I'm out because, you know, the social traffic was good, but I didn't really seem like there were lines at non-Scoops Ahoy Baskin Robbins, which are 99.9% of them. The flavors were selling out at Target. You know, they're actually selling their ice cream through Target, the Scoops Ahoy flavors, but I'm thinking, how much could they really make for this special promotion? I'm sure they just sold out everything they had. It doesn't seem to me like they're taking full advantage of this promotional opportunity. The promotion only lasts for 14 days. They sell out their inventory, then they're done. In fact, I confirmed that when Amy interviewed her store manager up in North Dallas, who told her that they sold out of this one flavor and never got any more of it. That is bad operating.
They didn't plan for it to be as big as it could have been.
Yeah. But on the flip side, her store manager she spoke to did tell her that he saw a huge uptick in business at that location. So that's almost making me doubt myself right now and thinking maybe I should have bought in. Between me and you, I actually did buy in a little. And them, I did buy in a little. It's not worthy enough to do a trade board because it's below low conviction. I sold most of my options when you told me about your deal and then I found out about my deal. But then when Amy told me about, I was gonna sell the rest and Amy gave me her store feedback, I was like, maybe I'll keep a little bit just in case.
It's so interesting because before I even did my store visit and did all my research, I'm like, well, let me just put a little bit in, let me buy some options just in case it starts to move. And then I was about to sell them after hearing your news and now I don't know what to do.
Other things going on though. We have a trade that we did. We listed a trade board already. This came out, a week ago. We did a trade board on earthquake. You know, the California earthquakes, the 2 big earthquakes?
We found an insurance company based in California where more than half of their business is earthquake insurance and a big portion of their business is California.
So we saw a massive social increase in conversation around earthquake insurance.
Everyone is talking about earthquake insurance for the first time since Twitter
years.
was invented. Nobody's ever talked about earthquake insurance on Twitter, but it was trending.
So the thesis we have is that this company is likely to write more premiums over the next few months than they normally would have projected because of the escalated interest in earthquake insurance, specifically in California. There are some areas where they're not writing policies because they're too close to where the earthquakes happen, but that's in the middle of the desert. It's impacting less than 10% of the state. So they can still write policies in 90% of the state, right?
And the biggest thing is we think there's a limited impact that the current
very limited impact, yeah.
A situation had on current policy owners.
And the stock hadn't moved when we invested in it, and it seemed like a medium conviction trade? Is that what
Yeah, we called it medium.
No, that's an interesting one. It was timely. Our Crocs trade is going really well so far. A lot of the big Wall Street analysts, after we made our call on Crocs, came out and made similar calls on Crocs. Basically, they were getting transactional data, which is credit card data, which lags the social data that we trade on, and that's a big part of our event.
We're able to see things before Wall Street sometimes because we can spot a trend and then associate it to a public stock.
Yeah, so a lot of the social data that we trade is unstructured and noisy, right? And it's interpretable. So you can interpret it the correct way or interpret it the wrong way. So it's more difficult to trade, and that's the negative part. There's more false positives. The positive part about social data is it's real-time data. The credit card data that a lot of the hedge funds trade are weeks late, right? So they're getting credit card transaction data days to weeks, and then it takes them time to process that data and to interpret that data. So we're able to trade on our data quicker, even though it's not as precise as the transactional credit card receipt data and all that stuff that they're using mostly on Wall Street. Crocs is up, what, 15% since we made that trade? 15, 20%? What else?
Done very well on the ELF trade board. That
ELF is doubled! I just got a text. Remember Terrence from the ELF video? His 2 daughters were kind enough to help us with our ELF research that we did a few months ago when we initiated the ELF trade. Well, he just sent me this text, okay? Dad, listen to me. ELF Cosmetics restocked their most popular putty primer. We have to go get it at Target. Stat.
that's in all caps.
All caps. Stat. Jeffree Star, which was the impetus for our ELF trade, came out last night and said about to test the new ELF Cosmetics Jelly Pop line for summer. It's a skincare line. Review on my channel in a few days. And then someone immediately started tweeting, oh my gosh, everyone better order now because if Jeffree Star approved, it's going to be sold out everywhere, just like the primer that took me 2 months to get a hold of. So could this be yet another catalyst for ELF? Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. We don't even know if it's Jeffree Star approved, but we know that he's teasing it on Twitter, that he's about to release something on YouTube, and that could be big.
Hey, if you like this episode, hit the like button, ding-a-ling the bell, smash the subscribe button. We want to hear from you in the comments.
I'm so behind on comments. I promise to get to every single one. I feel so guilty right now, but tonight I'm gonna hit those comments.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on.